I haven't been broke in over 10 years, all because of this one simple skill. There's nothing new to this. It still worked year over year, and you may already know how to do this, but you're not taking full advantage of it. You see, when it comes to selling to a person or selling online, it's a whole lot easier whenever you already know what they want. And when it comes to marketplaces, they all leave clues. They all have data points, and you can find out what a customer wants. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, all marketplaces leaves clues. And I'm sure even all the other marketplaces as well also has some kind of signal that can tell you if an item is popular or not. As you can see right now, I'm on Amazon. I'm just going to click on bestsellers and outlet. Yeah, it says bestsellers, but you know, how do you actually know if an item is actually a bestseller or not, right? And these are all physical products. Maybe you can do arbitrage, wholesale, whatever it may be. I know for the most part, we go over print on demand, decorated products on the channel. But let me just show you, for example, this says bestsellers ranked number 13. And number 3 in toy building sets, meaning this product goes insanely crazy right now. That's just one signal, right? That's something that's telling you that this item is popular. And of course, there's integration tools that you can use on Amazon that can tell you how much is actually selling and whatnot as well. For example, this is AMZ Scout, and it has an estimated monthly sales of 21,000 units per month. Every product on Amazon is ranked based on what it sells. This is called the bestsellers rank, the BSR. The lower the number means the more that product is actually selling, especially within that category. For example, it's in the toys category. There's probably 2 million toys within that category listed. I don't know the exact number. We can look it up. But just for example, it's ranked number 3 out of 2 million. Imagine if it was in the spot of 2 million out of 2 million, that means the product itself is not selling. You can think of it like a leaderboard at a gym. The person who's number 1 is probably crushing it in reps, working out, super consistent, and the person who's at 500,000 is someone who hasn't touched a dumbbell or a weight in weeks. So the same thing happens with products. The lower the number, the more it's selling. The higher the number means it's probably not selling at all. So let's say if you are doing print on demand or using Printify or maybe even doing Amazon's merch on demand, you can click on a product, you can scroll on down, and you can actually see the bestsellers rank right there, 26,000, which means it's probably doing pretty decent. Number 73 in men's novelty t-shirts, 5,000 in men's fashion. A simple rule of thumb that most people use when it comes to Amazon without any tools is just looking at products that are ranked under 100,000 means the product itself has quite some consistency to it. And this is something I've done for a long time before I hopped onto Etsy. So when I hopped onto Etsy, success came relatively quick. Now, for example, here I am on eBay, and I used to do a lot of reselling, right? And I didn't know if the product that I had is something that was actually going to work out. I didn't know if something was going to be a good buy. So I always came on here and typed it in first, right? So you come on here and you'll see what the product's actually selling for. You already have an idea of what the fees can be, 10% and whatnot. But how do you know if this is a good product or not? You will scroll on down to here and you will click on sold items, and that way you will know if that product actually sold at that price. For example, I typed in a Sony a6300 camera. Now I have a baseline of what that camera is actually selling for, along with whatever it came with. For example, this one came with a lens. This one also came with this kind of lens, a different kind of lens, about $590, $179 for a broken one, also broken about $150, $440. Now this allows you to know if whatever you're selling is something that the customer actually wants. And you can do the same thing with print on demand, apparel, decorated products, the items that we talk about most on this channel. But this right here gives you a baseline to something. All the time, you always know if the customer wants something. And sometimes you may type in the product that you think that the customer is looking for and you see no type of data whatsoever. And that will allow you to know that the customer does not want this actual product. And now that you understand this at its core can change everything for you, will allow you to understand that all you have to do is scale, knowing this one little thing, which is just knowing what the customer actually wants. Especially when it comes to selling on marketplaces, that's all that it is. You have to supply what the customer actually wants. So for example, we talk about print on demand, we talk about apparel most of the time, and now what I'm gonna do is just hop on over to Etsy, and you can just start digging into the products that are for sale that you are able to supply. And even without third-party software or tools, you can already have an idea that this product is working. This product design, be you. The world will adjust. 5 people bought this in the past 24 hours. So we're gonna look and see what price on average people are checking out at. Most people are going to buy a large, $19. We'll see whatever the shipping is, $6. So now you just do this the very simple basic way, 25 times 5, and you will know that this product is making $125 possibly per day. We don't know if it's going to do 5 tomorrow or if it did 5 the previous day, but we do know it has worked very, very recently. And when I first started selling on Etsy, I just used this very basic information. I didn't use software. I didn't use tools. You can also go into the reviews, see it has any recent reviews. So for example, May 5th, they just got a review, May 5th as well. So we know that this product at least sold over a week ago because they're just now leaving the review today. Has one on April 30th, April 29th. So we know it also sold prior to that, which about 2-3 weeks ago. And I know you may be thinking that can't be it. There's a little bit more to it. Obviously, there's some pricing strategies, some mock-up styles that you can use to make your product design look a little bit better. But sometimes I think you may overcomplicate things so much that you forget what's important at its core. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Everbee tool. I don't know if you've seen this before or not. So here I can get some more specific, accurate data. I can see it's doing monthly revenue of $259, total sales of 69. But with this tool right here, sometimes you can not pay attention to these numbers and look at something that's a little bit more accurate. For example, I'm looking at this trends chart, and this is giving me data by the day. So now I can see 3, 4, 6, 7, sold 7 times on this day, 8 times on this day. Once again, like tools like this is kind of an estimate, but it gives you a fairly close estimate to what it could be. Now I'm going to click on revenue. We see $84, $112, $196, very, very consistent. Like I said, this product was selling based off of the reviews I was looking at least over a week ago. Then we saw another review, meaning they probably purchased it a week prior as well, because they had ordered it and then wait on the product to come in before they even left the review. And at certain cases, they probably didn't leave it that same day, but at least like the next day or the following day. So think about that as well. 196 as well. This has been a very consistent product. And also using Everbee as well, you can look at the tags so that you can see what tags people are using to actually get to this product. Like I said, you have to understand what customers are looking for so that you can actually supply. And just by knowing this one little thing, you'll never ever be broke again. I can guarantee you that. Another thing you may want to look at is how long ago they actually created this product for the first time. This was 8 months ago. So meaning it's probably still doing fairly consistent from that time date. For example, if this number was very, very large and the listing age was like 10 years ago, then it's probably not a great product to actually look at until you actually look at the trend chart and see if these sales are recent. Because for the most part, I've always noticed this is like, I believe this is a average across of 12 months. So here's a simple framework that you can use whenever you start to do this initial research. Is think about the demand. Is it selling right now? And also before you get into it, maybe you do see the demand, but is it a product that's just a trend for this time being? And is the trend worth your time currently? For example, maybe you saw a Valentine's Day shirt and maybe it's doing $20,000, $30,000 within the next few weeks. It might be worth your time. But if it's a trend and maybe it's just doing like $1,000 or so within the next few weeks, or the past few weeks or something, and it's about to be Valentine's Day, is that trend worth your time spending time creating the product if that holiday is about to come by way too soon, and the amount that you could potentially make is probably not worth the amount of hours that you're about to spend on it? And let's say that's not the case. You can look at a trend chart. You can see, is it growing or if it's actually fading? You can see in some charts where it's going up, and you can see in some charts where it's on its way down now. Now, the next thing you want to think about is the margin. On average, most print-on-demand profit sales are going to be roughly anywhere between 20 to 30%. Some print-on-demand products, you can actually get a little bit higher. You can get close to 40%. I've seen people do pretty consistent with some products that are doing roughly 35% margins. And for some people, they think 20 to 30% is really, really low. But the thing is, whenever you bring things in-house and you increase that margin, your labor increases, your rent increases. And even if you're doing it your time, then your time decreases because you have less time to focus on making more sales. Whenever you are using print on demand, you're doing 20 to 30% margins. It's really simple to continue scaling and scaling and scaling. And that's why I have a student who did $80,000 last month and another student who did $34,000 last month. Would you rather have 25% of 80,000, or would you rather have 40% of 10,000? That's something you should really think about whenever you are deciding whether you want to fulfill something in-house or do print on demand. Also, with print on demand, you can scale things up really, really highly, and then you can look at the products that are working out really well and then take those products in-house. And that's one of the secrets and keys of how we've been able to be profitable for quite some time and how I've been able to do this for a long time. You can go back in my videos and you can see that I've been doing this for quite some time. And if you're new here, because I know we were speaking a little broad on what you should use and how you could use this so that you'll never be broke, right? But I didn't go over print on demand in this video. So if you don't know what print on demand is, this is a website called Printify. So for example, if you don't know how it works, if you have this design right here, all you have to do is slap that design onto a product that Printify will supply. For example, they actually have that Comfort Colors t-shirt. I don't know if this product right here was profitable for sure. So let me see, about $10.67 plus $4. We're looking at about $14.67 for this actual product cost, and we're selling for $25 right here. And Everbee also has a profit calculator right here. I just typed in $25 and cost of item 14 bucks. And even after fees, you're looking at $8 profit each. So this is actually close to 32% margin, which is pretty awesome. But check this out. So let's say if you don't really understand how it works, you're not creating a t-shirt, you're not making a t-shirt, you're not shipping it out to your customer. You just need this design. Obviously, if you know how to type, you know how to create the actual design. But you can even download it as well. I just typed in SVG, which stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. So you can purchase the design right here for $1, $2, $3. And then what you do is head on over to Printify, you make your Printify account, and then it will ask you to integrate it with Etsy. The two will integrate seamlessly. And let me know if you want a updated tutorial, step-by-step walkthrough down below. Just comment down below and I'll make a new walkthrough. I haven't done one in a while. But once you're integrated, you just click start designing and you throw your design onto this t-shirt, and it's available for sale on the Etsy marketplace. So that's how you can take advantage of using a print on demand company and understanding the fact that when you know what a customer wants, you'll never be broke again. And I just wanted to make a simple, straightforward video because I know with everything in mind, it's really easy to overcomplicate things and start to try to create your own designs and start to create things that you may think that the customer wants. Just look at this at the core at its finest, and you will go a lot further whenever you go back to just looking at the basics. If this video helped you out, comment down below or check out this next video right here.